Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I apologize, but I'm here for a little bit. Maybe. Hello, my friends. Welcome to my. Sorry, guys. You don't need to hear double yogi. Hey, toy pups. So yeah, late and then I'll end early-ish. And I've been struggling getting up in the morning. I never struggle to get up, but for about a week, it's not been super easy. Hey, Jess, there might be another happy birthday song coming up. I know I sang once, but can you ever sing too many times?
What's new with Google?
I would ask if it had a let's see. Hold on, guys. Hey, Mustafa. Hey, Dante. How are you? Eric, I'm so sorry I didn't watch the full live. That's okay. We wonderful guest 2 hours ago, but the conversation was truly amazing. I very much enjoyed having Julia, or Jewel, as she's also called, up. Mustafa says, Eric, you go live 3 times a day. We appreciate and respect you for that, and it's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Mustafa. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of your insightful questions you bring when I have a guest on. Hey, Michael. Michael, thank you. Yes, how you doing? Hey, Liza. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. My noisy cat. Hey, Ray. How are you, my friend? Ahmed, nice to see you. Michael says you're welcome. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, my friend. So, tomorrow, Miss Flipper. Monday Miracles with Miss Flipper. Tuesday. Make sure I get everything right here. Scott Killaby is Tuesday. We're back to on Tuesday. We're back to talking about emotional repression and working through that. He is particularly, hey Parajat, you're particularly going to enjoy Tuesday's guest because he's going to talk probably almost exclusively about non-dual inquiry as a means of unlocking those karmic knots, the emotional repression. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, how are you? Jesse says, me not buying a house till January and only accept 2 out of 9 nights. I'm sorry, Jessica. Hey, January is not that far away. We are almost in December, so we're talking a month. Mustafa says, is anyone going to sing for us now? Hey, if anyone wants to spend a little bit of time singing tonight. Carl says, talk to the pilot today. What did the pilot have to say, Carl? Just a squirrel, check your message. Let's see. Hey, on the 30th, Goldie is coming up for part 3 of her journey. 30th is on. When is the 30th? It's on Sunday, right? I know I have someone else. Oh, Julie is coming up, and Deanna on Wednesday afternoon. Sniper's going to be up. Esoteric Lounge, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. I'm on my day. My day was pretty good, except for the speaking part. He said he'd go on Malay. Awesome. When are you going to have them up? It says, I hope you feel good all the time, Miss Yogi. Thank you for that. A lot of the time. A lot of the time I do. Hey, Big Al. Sorry not to be how much. I have man flu. That's okay. You still suffering from that? So I'm going to be reaching out to some more people to have them come up. Hopefully come up. Continue our conversations. It has been, for me, I hope it's been worthwhile for you guys. It had been totally worthwhile for me. I apologize that when I have guests that I'm absent from the chat for the most part. But hopefully we make it up, especially on the morning, on the 5 a.m. Because, oh, I read that. Oh, wow, that would be interesting, Carl. I've never talked with a train driver before. Miguel says, yes, very much so. Throat's not as bad today. I'm not sniffling as much, but feel terrible. Yeah, come on up, Stinkbug. You gonna sing a song? Michael says, Yogi, can you believe I've got 61 episodes of Mysteries Untold up in just 9 months? You know what? I can believe it because you did it. I see how you work, Michael. Jessica says, thank you, Eric. I love you. I love you too, Jessica. And I'm so happy I got a chance to come up and sing happy birthday to you. Guys, it's our friend just Jessica's birthday. Make sure that you wish her a very, very happy birthday. Hey, James. James says, thank you, Eric. I love you. James, I love you too, my friend. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. We'll take all the love I can get. I'm sorry, Carl. Carl says you never have guests who trust me, Yogi. Yeah, probably the case for many people. I'll be honest with you. A lot of times bringing up a guest, totally selfish for me. I so much want to sit with these people. As I was telling Julia, I will go through my list of people on Facebook and other services too. And I wait until I get that nudge. And sometimes it's a big shout. This person. That's the way it was with Julia. Just says, just a happy soul day and great name. The Jesses have to stick together. Everyone's wishing Jessica a happy birthday. Project says, what are your thoughts about dreams? What do you have, dreams or nightmare? Well, all right. My meditation teacher taught me how to teach meditation. In the Vedic yogic tradition, dreams, they can be prophetic, but mostly they are working through the day's karma in whatever form it takes. It's just energy. Now, that's the general dreams, right? The general dreams. Again, there are deeper dreams. There's the dreaming of Aboriginals, Australia, where the dreaming is the real world. Remember reading a story of a city in Australia, and a shaman was asking his pupil to look at the city and can he see the dreaming? The dreaming was there before the city. The dreaming is dreaming the city there now. Without the dreaming, there'd be no city. But every day, third stage of consciousness, dreaming. Second stage, we have wakefulness, everyday consciousness. We have dreaming consciousness. We have deep sleep consciousness. And then we have the fourth stage of consciousness, Turiya, which is bliss consciousness, transcendental consciousness. It's when we slip into the gap during meditation. So I think when we're in that dream, every once in a while, when we're in that dream state, every once in a while, that fourth state lifts through, seeps through, comes through, and we're given that little bit of a peek. Environment says, who would interest you, Carl? That's a good question, Environment. And Environment, how are you, my friend? Jessica is 44. Hey, sissy. Hey, sissy, thank you for sharing this afternoon, too. Much appreciated. Sissy says, hang in there, Carl. We love you. We do love you, Carl. I don't know who I could get, Carl, that you'd be interested in. Generally, I always want to have, generally speaking, I want to have the people that have the most impact that can help as many people. Turiya state, bliss consciousness, that is, or God consciousness, that's who we are in reality. That is when we are at home in the mind of God. This is why they say slip into the gap, because it's ever present. But it seems like everything occurs from Turiya. It's the seat of consciousness itself. Let's head on over here to Google. Maybe that'll give us some talking points. So here's a brief AI overview. Turiya refers to the fourth state of consciousness in Hinduism, and more so in, again, yogic, Vedic, which I don't associate strictly with Hinduism. Because yoga and Vedanta existed before Hinduism existed, and Hinduism sprang forth from that for the most part. Hey, Jack. Jack, how are you? So, which is pure, unchanging. You'll appreciate this, Parajat. Fourth state of consciousness, which is pure, unchanging awareness that lies beyond the three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. It is not temporary state when enters, but rather the underlying reality of the self that is always present, but often masked by mental activity. Consciousness, awareness. This state is characterized by bliss, peace, and non-dual, all-encompassing consciousness that is identical to the ultimate reality, Brahma, and the individual self, Atman. Now, here's the 4 ways to realize Turiya meditation. For me specifically, it's been primordial sound meditation, which is very similar to transcendental meditation. I'm a certified instructor for primordial sound meditation. If anyone wants to learn it, just reach out. I'm happy to teach it. Self-inquiry, yoga, and living in the self. And that would be basically what you and I have talked about before, returning to the I am presence. That's how it happened with Nisargadatta Maharaj. Jack, how are you? Jessica says, thank you all for being so kind and have a good night. You have a good night too. Zephyr says, Joel has some great drops. Logan, to with you decide. Joel has some great thoughts, great drops. Logan, to with decide your reality. No, we would say Turiya is awareness. I think personally, how I see things now, that it's non-dual, but not pure non-dualism. Uh, hey, Duncan, how are you, my friend? Course of Miracles gives us a picture of we have duality, which we all experience, right? Then we have um, semi non duality, where we realize that there's something greater going on that we're not quite aware of. Then we have non dualism, but there's still a separation. We might have a non dual experience, but it's still an experience. And then there is pure non dualism. Environment said he's doing well. Duncan, you got a new video up I need to check out. I will make sure to do so after the live stream. Stephen says, hey to Duncan Walsh. Just says she doesn't agree that everything is scripted. Otherwise, he's point on. Duncan says, can we get a 10 times $1 membership for Yogi tonight? That would be something. That would be something. I hope I can make it worth your guys' while. Environment says the middle way. You ever read Nagarjuna's The Middle Way? It's a slightly different. It's actually has more in common with the theory of relativity than what we consider the middle way. Hey, Lady Sky, how are you? Hey, Phoenix. Hope everyone has a great and wonderful night. I hope you do too. Yes, those are the 4 states. Just says, well, I mean, that you are not in control of your reality, that part. But yes, pretty much. Everything is scripted, as he has proven. If everything is scripted, how can you be in charge of your reality? And who is it? What is it that is in charge? Jack says, doing great, resting up. I have a big week ahead. We are booked for the holidays. I bet. Remember, I told you me and my wife have a house cleaning business here in Vegas. Yes, we needed it. Hey, are you originally from? You're not originally from Vegas, are you? Duncan says, does everyone join Yogi's membership? Just $1 to help support, and you get a penny back. $1 and you get a penny back. 99 cents. President says, talk about the third eye and count chakra, Yogi, in brief. I don't do a whole lot of stuff with chakras. We did learn about it, both yoga certification as well as with pranayama instruction, and as well as my meditation instructor's instruction. But honestly, I think it's better suited to Ayurvedic teachers. And the reason being is if we all want to concentrate on certain chakras, we want to open up the heart chakra to get more love. We want to focus on the power chakra to manifest. We want to focus on the throat chakra so we can vocalize our manifestations, what we want prayer wise, right? Or the third eye to get psychic gifts, or the crown chakra. But then we throw everything out of whack. We have a hard time tuning in, knowing where we are balanced, where we are out of balance. So everything has a way of balancing itself when we let it. So there are some great yoga sequences to help balance the chakras. 7 postures, all you need, and meditation itself will help everything balance out. We tell people, let's not complicate it. Breathwork, meditation. If you're a student of the Course of Miracles, kindness and forgiveness. Radical forgiveness. Renner says, I'm from California, born and raised, where was it, Antelope? Where was that? Oh, Antelope Valley. Nice. Duncan says, how is Kat today? She's doing good, Duncan. Worn out from work, looking for her for the holidays. I don't think she's gotten all her energy back from when she was under the weather. Lady Sky says she's doing good, doing so-so. I'm sorry, what's going on, Lady Sky? So we can spoil the kids for Christmas. They're very good kids. They are awesome kids. I mentioned before, I absolutely love your videos, watching you train, watching you put in time on the skates as well as in the gym. But I love watching you with your kids. It's a ghetto out in the Antelope Valley. That's a shame. Such a pretty name. Hey, Starboy, how are you, my friend? We love you too. Thank you, Toy Pups. Oh, just learned a church member passed away last week, and I missed the funeral for my church member, so I feel bad to miss it, Yogi. Be there in spirit. Be there in spirit. Hey, Danny. Prayers to you, Lady Sky. Reno says, thank you so much. I'm sure you can see them getting better. I can, and I can see them getting confidence, and that comes directly from you. You know, confidence always comes from having such a great teacher. Guys, we got a friend coming up for a minute.
More. I do
Yes, sir.
appreciate you talking to my friends. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Yogi. I was talking
Oh.
to my grandma for a minute.
Hey, Miss Joan.
Yep. He says, hello, Miss Joan. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
I heard her voice, but I couldn't hear what she said.
Yeah. He said, you tell him I said hello.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not showing up to take over or anything. I just saw you were live, and we can talk more, privately or whatever. But I didn't know if anybody might have some interesting questions, like from the perspective of a scientist or psychologist. But also just most of the time I've joined your channel recently, you've had guests, so I tried not to kind of intrude.
You never intruding. I appreciated your input today.
I tried to be careful. Like I wasn't. You were talking to the lady, and I asked about like her education, but I wasn't. I didn't. I hope I didn't come off like I was saying like she's not educated. I was just
Right.
yeah.
No, I don't think so at all.
Yeah, you know where I'm coming from.
Right.
I come from a psychology background and have a fascination with logic and epistemology, truth. and I am also an autistic person. So I try my best not to come off like uh,
Do you
I, you,
find
kn- you. Yeah, you know me enough by now. I don't have to explain that to you.
right? Do you find you have a hard time bridging that that logical aspect um, with the uh, more
I need
spiritual?
you. I need you to repeat. Do I find that I have a hard time? What was the last word?
Bridging the gap between the the logical part of your mind and the training that you've had with
Yes, sir.
um, the spiritual.
Yes, sir. Because I know we're good friends, but we still don't know each other very well. But to me, there is no spiritual. It's not. I appreciate like what you guys do and are studying and everything, but that like I'm not convinced that there is any spiritual aspect to reality. So I focus on the stuff that I've studied. The mind is what the brain does. I see you, Miss Pups. It's good to see you.
Yep, our friend Environment said, "Who's this guest?" This is our friend Stinkbug. Um, yeah, I could see that, but some of the great psychological minds, Carl Rogers, um, Viktor Frankl, Carl Jung, all had very, very deep mystical
Yeah.
uh, experiences as well.
We could talk like a lot of I see you have 16 viewers, so I'm not gonna like take over, but I could talk to you for a couple hours about Viktor Frankl. I did a whole course about his book, and yeah,
Ver-
we had a special topics course about Viktor Frankl's course um,
Very important
about him.
person in my life.
Yeah, yes, I believe so. Also, uh, he had some balls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, we have someone in the chat. Uh, amazing music dance experience says, "Who was Stinkbug?"
I'm nobody. If I could send the Charles Manson clip right now where he says I'm nobody, I would do it.
I thought you might want to reply specifically
Uh, yuck,
to our
I
friend
am.
Amazing Dance and Music.
Yeah, I'm just. I'm alive. I'm nobody special. It doesn't matter how many views I get or whatever, but I show up to support my friends. And I saw that Mr. Yogi didn't have any guests at the moment, and he normally does. And
Hey,
he knows more about what I'm going through than I'm gonna talk about here. But I
our
just
friend Environment says, "Do you think bugs are conscious, Stinkbug?"
conscious. Uh, yes, I guess. I don't. I've never been asked that question. I'm conscious, and I'm a big ass bug. So maybe that's the answer to the question.
Toy Pup says, "We're happy that you're alive, Stinkbug."
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, Miss Bubs. We'll talk like more about personal shit. We can talk later, but I just wanted to check in, and uh, the last few times I came by, you had guests, and I didn't want to like distract, distract you from that because a lot of times people show up and follow me from my channel to your channel, and then they'll start being crazy, and uh,
Um, I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming over. And I thought, I thought your questions were, you know, even asking the education because it gave her a chance to explain what she does,
yes, sir.
and how she got there.
The
Uh, I,
only reason I said that was because she kept mentioning therapists, and like You know my background by now, so I thought like I was. I'm not. I don't want to make anything like an insult, to your guests.
Right.
So I'm not doing that. But I thought it meant like she had at least a 6-year degree. But I think what she meant by therapist is like is more of a spiritual course, and I respect that. And I'm still learning about what you guys think about like supernatural and spiritual stuff. It's just I don't come from that background, So
Right.
I I'm doing my best to reconcile that with objective reality and with epistemology. Like to me, epistemology is probably the most important thing that anyone could learn. What is
How do
true?
you apply that in your life?
Um, so the more true things that you believe, and the fewer false things that you believe, they're going to help you navigate the reality that you exist in.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense
it
or not.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but
This goes
you
all the
know,
way back to the 1940s with the Edmund Gettier paper, where he talked about justified true belief. Uh,
um,
you can go
if
ahead.
we took it all the way to yogic and Buddhist psychology, where a lot of psychology now, especially the more positive approaches to psychology, um, are adopting that. They talk about the kleshas, which are the 5 afflictions of the mind. We can't see reality because it's clouded over by these afflictions. We see our attachments, we see our aversions, and we see our fears, and we see our
Yes, sir.
false belief that we are a egoic personality.
Yes,
Um,
sir. And I see that
so
you have 16 people watching. So, again, I'm not gonna drag you along, but if uh, if anybody has the interest, just Google what epistemology is and look up the Gettier problem from the 1940s. Try to figure out what truth is and what knowledge is, how they clash against each other. And I love all the people that show up here and speak with Mr. Yogi, but he's got a lot on his hands, and I have a whole lot on my hands. And we can talk later, like off stream, but I wanted to pop in and just talk to you for a minute. I got to get my brownies out because I have to sell 24 of these things tomorrow. And Miss Pups, I love you. And Squirrel, I appreciate you coming through my stream. Mr. Yogi, I love you. My grandma does too.
appreciate that from both of you.
I just maybe
Love.
one day we can. What's that?
I was gonna say I love you both too.
Yeah, one day we can schedule a talk. We can just sit and talk for 20 minutes or whatever, and
Sure. Hey,
I can get into
um,
this stuff.
if your grandmother ever has a song that she wants me to try to sing when we do the song night, I'll try to learn it for her. Let me know.
I should do that. But yes, that I'm sure she could give you a song.
And
I don't know.
hopefully,
This is song night? So I was supposed to show up and sing.
this isn't really song night. It's usually Saturdays, but and occasionally we'll do it on Sundays.
Do you want me to try to do a subharmonic for you before I close?
Sure.
A subharmonic is where you vibrate your vocal cords to where you can go like really low if you
Right.
already have a really low voice. Give me 10 seconds.
Yep.
All right. This is me with no tea and no practice. Show you what a subharmonic sounds like. Just give me a couple tries. I don't know if you could hear that or not.
Yep.
That shit
Oh.
takes years to learn how to do, but I did it on
Did you
command.
teach yourself how to do that, or did you learn from someone?
There's a guy called Jeff Castellucci, who's a bass singer, and there's Avi Kaplan. I can tell you, I'll give you the details off stream.
Sure.
But I'll try it one more time and see if I can go even lower. I don't know if your microphone picks it up. It's about the best I got.
That was pretty good. Better than the first time.
Yeah. I feel like it was worse than the first time. But I got it.
The second
And
time, I
I
thought,
also I have cars driving by me.
right.
We try
Yes,
one
sir.
more time just for shits
Sure.
and gigs. There's some crackling in there.
I think the second time was still the best.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Sure.
I'm gonna get my brownies out.
All right, Sick Bug. Thanks for coming up.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
You got it.
Yeah, I was telling mine about me. Carry them to Dothan in the morning.
Hey, Nematodes. How are you, my friend?
You hear them owls hollering out there?
Guys, that was our friend Sinkbug. I always appreciate it when he stops in and says hi. I always appreciate it whenever you guys pop in. I like these nights when we got, 5-minute spots. People can come up and say hi, share whatever it is going on in their lives. We're going to be live for about 20 more minutes if anyone wants to come up and say hi. Nematodes says, very good. Thank you, Eric. Hey, again, for everyone who showed up this afternoon, thank you so much for being here, for being guests. It's very much appreciated. I do apologize that on those days with guests, I'm not as interactive with people. But I do look for your questions, and you guys had some great questions. Very much appreciate them. Just Syncbug David Gibson is a great person to study for depth of notes and how each works for your personal self. Sissy says you must welcome Yogi. Sissy, I specifically thought that you, Sniper, and Cat, I thought that today's guest would resonate very much so. Sniper says an army of frogs at your command. Lady Sky says you're welcome. Appreciate that, Lady Sky. Guys, we'll have Lady Sky back up and singing after December 8th. Yeah, those Tibetan throat singers, pretty awesome. I'm going to reach out. He actually said yes, but I have to go through his publicist. You guys familiar with Lama Suru Das? He wrote Awaken the Buddhist Within, Awaken the Buddha Within, a great book on Tibetan Buddhism. He has done many long-term, like 4-year silent retreats. So I need to reach out to his publicist, and he will come up and give us a talk, spend some time with us. I want to reach out to a few more people. Reason why I've reached out to Scott Killaby, I want to get some more non-Course in Miracles people up, some more yogis, some more Buddhists, some more non-dual people up. Not that I'm always in alignment with a lot of the Neo-Advaita non-dual teachings. Not that I contradict them either. Just I think different languages that we speak. Tibetan Buddhism has always been a fascination for me. It's not a path that I had wanted to follow, although had I met the right teacher, who knows? I do love how the course is a self-study program, although as Emily Perry pointed out when she was up, that it's never mentioned to be a non or as a self-study. But I do think it's implied though. Susie says, thank you for listening to that mysterious nudge to have guests, and it just keeps getting better and better. Thank you. And it truly was. You know, for a while I felt a little lost with my channel. Was I, you know, the great prayer, and Julia said it several times today. I'm here only to be truly helpful. And I was asking myself, am I being truly helpful? I felt that I wasn't. Tiger King says other people understand to, you know, Eric, not just 3. I don't know what you mean, Tiger King. What do you mean, my friend? Sissy says, who is also an interesting rock band? He does less traditional throat singing. Well, I will look them up. Evan says, Eric, how do you heal a childhood trauma that you have raised and taught as the norm? Well, here's the thing. You can't, because your childhood is over. A great teacher from A Course in Miracles, Jerry Jambowski, one of the early teachers, his description of forgiveness is giving up all hopes of a better yesterday, all hope of a better past. You will never, Evan, you'll never have a better past. You cannot heal trauma from the past, but you can heal the storage of the trauma in the present moment. And that's what we're dealing with. Only way you can heal it is to come in touch with it, is to be aware of it, to allow it to come in your awareness. Now, in yogic terms, it would heal through the awareness itself. Awareness changes everything, but it's a longer path. Course in Miracles says to forgive it. Course in Miracles is not a practice of effects. It's the practice of the cause. What's causing the trauma isn't things that have happened in the past that don't exist. It's the fact that the trauma is still here in the present. And that's what you forgive. You're forgiving the cause that is allowing that trauma to be stored in the body and be expressed even subconsciously. So you need to bring it, you need to feel it, you need to acknowledge it, and then you need to turn it over to whatever loving source is symbolized in your mind. Hey, Laura, I saw you come in and we have the guests up. I didn't have a chance to say hi, but I do want to say hi to you, my friend. Laura says, why don't you get up and sing for us, Tiger King? Amy Winehouse. So stick up for all of us. Sissy's a great person. Hey, I'll try to get the whole song down by next Saturday. This guy says, I would love to come up, Yogi, on how you deal with grief. I'm kind of feeling bad. I'm missing my church member funeral. Well, here's the thing. We don't want to learn how to deal with something. I'm not sure that makes sense. Because when we say deal, what we're looking for is how do we get rid of it? How do we not feel bad any longer? When we are dealing with grief, grieve. Simple as that. But the problem is we're grieving and we say, I don't want to grieve. We're saying that I am sad, I am lonely, I am this, and I don't want to be this way. That's when we suffer. But when we fully accept and embrace how we feel now without trying to change it, we're able to work through it. We're able to love ourselves through it. When we're grieving, don't add suffering into the mix. Suffering is when we're saying, I'm grieving, but I no longer want to. There's a reason you're grieving, because you've lost someone that you care about. Grieve for however long grief lasts. It's when we grieve and we don't want to and we shove it aside, that's when it becomes stored trauma. And that's what we were talking about with Evan. Not that grieving was in his case, but he has trauma that's stored in his body and it comes out in his own interactions with people. And it can be passed down epigenetically. We want to deal with it by dealing with it, accepting it. Everyone can sing, Tiger King. If I can sing, anyone can sing. Stephen says you could act the words out, Tiger King. That's true. Sissy says, I would look out for you, Tiger King. I would look out. I would anyone else here. Love you, bro. Sissy's got a heart of gold. Hey, Tiger King. Make sure you got friends back too. And if you want more people to have your back, make sure you got more people's backs. I know this person. Hey, Selma.
Hi, Yogi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hi, chat. Hi, Salma.
Selma says, I miss you, Puppy Mommy.
I miss you too, Sami. We just saw each other yesterday, girl. It was just yesterday. Hi, chat. We loved your advice just now, Yogi. That was amazing. We needed to hear that about grieving.
Right. And that's true with anything that we're going through, anything that we're experiencing, that we might view as a negative emotion. You know how we often hear the, hey, positive vibes only, positive thoughts only, or hey, you got to be positive. But what happens when we're not positive?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't go away by trying to be something different. It means that we're just taking those feelings and we're shoving them down deep within uh, the psyche, deep within the body. We store trauma in the body. We store trauma in the mind. It doesn't go away. We have to be able to be honest with ourselves and express what we're feeling in every possible way.
I agree with that. Or otherwise, you suppress everything inside, and then it just because you end up masking it because the world tells you stop being sad about it, let it go. And why do you have to let it go? Why can't you just grieve and go through the process of grieving? Allow yourself that you deserve it. It's the only way you're going to heal is by letting yourself grieve. It's going to hurt at times. You have to allow yourself to hurt. You're going to want to cry at times. It might be months later, and you're going to say, why am I still crying over this? Because you are still grieving. Wasn't it something beautiful in your life? Doesn't it deserve that space to be grieved?
Nicely said. Beautifully said. Toy Pops, thank you for that.
No,
Hey,
thank you, Yogi. I'm a mini yogi in training, by the way.
do you want to hear a poem that expresses it?
Yes, we do.
You probably heard me say this before. This is from Rumi, the great Persian poet. And I'm going to point out key marks in here. One night, a man was crying, Allah, Allah. His lips grew sweet with the praising until a cynic said, "So, I have heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response?" The man had no answer to that. He quit praying and fell into a confused sleep. He dreamed he saw Kadir, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage, who asked him, "Why did you stop praising?" And he answered, "Because I've never heard anything back." Kadir said, "This longing you express is the return message. The grief you cry out from draws you towards union. Your pure sadness of one help is the secret cup. Listen
Wow.
to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the name of. Give your life to be one of them." So the key lines: the grief that you cry out from draws you towards union. The grief that you're crying from is your connection to that which feels lost. That's the very connection. The grieving is meant, it's not to get over
Yeah,
losing someone, it's meant to connect us with that someone. The grieving is the gift. How beautiful is that?
absolutely beautiful. That's why you shouldn't not grieve. You have to allow yourself that space to grieve and allow yourself to hurt. It's a gift that you're giving to yourself. That's the only way you're going to learn. I'm learning that now too. So I'm speaking from experience. That was hard for me to grieve or to let go of anything. I never thought I was an empathetic person at all because I was always taught growing up that, especially if someone passes away, how dare you be sad? Like, you have to let them go because that's a sin basically to hold on to that and not to let it go. And you're not supposed to cry about it, because if you cry, that's holding that person back from going to a good place. And it's so much like confusion, like, and all you end up doing in life is suppressing, when all you should have been doing is allowing yourself that space to grieve. Because it comes back and it haunts you later on in life,
True.
right?
What's
All that stuff.
one of the things you and I talk about on here and uh, together is epigenetics.
Yes. You have to break the epigenetics, and you can't expect anyone else to do it. No one else is going to do it. If you acknowledge that the epigenetics have brought you here, you're a part of it. You exist. But if you are part of it, and if you can't escape it, it's up to you to make that sacrifice, to do that change. Because if you don't do it, it ends up being passed down. It does. It really, really does. Because that's why we're in the predicament we're in. It was passed down to us. How do we change that? Looking in the mirror, and accepting maybe the things you look at yourself and say those are your flaws, and looking at them at a different way, because that might be the absolute most beautiful thing about you, you know?
Yep. Own everything.
Own everything because it's you. Was a hard part of my journey was, you know, I always put it off on someone else. People do this, people look at me this way, people that no, I was doing it to myself. Wasn't anyone else. I was doing it to myself. I'm still doing it up to now, but I'm allowing myself that space to learn. You
Right.
know, looking at myself in the mirror and saying, this is what you were then, but that doesn't mean that's who you have to be today or tomorrow. If you change you, and Yogi, you said this to us about a year ago, and it struck a nerve. You know, it was like it made us more aware. And so we started to do more work on ourselves. Stop looking at the outside to change anything around us. It was out of our control, you know, and I'm a control freak, so I couldn't handle that being out of my control. But I let go of all control. I said, I need to let go of all control and be allowing myself to be guided a certain direction. And it's been nothing but beautiful since then. And because I'm making changes within myself, for some reason, the world around me is changing. It's
Um,
changing.
well, I just mentioned a little bit ago when we talk about A Course in Miracles that it's a course in cause and not effects. So
Hmm.
that's the opposite of how we generally approach self-help. Is we want to deal with the effects. I want to go
Yes.
on a diet. I want to lose weight, gain weight. I want to get bigger. I want to get taller. I want to. I'll feel better if I get this car, if I get this job, if I get whatever. But the cause of all of our unhappiness, the cause of all of our suffering, is never addressed. We just mask it over, thinking that this next fact that we try to fix is going to do the trick. But the Course, yoga, Buddhism, uh, are brutal in having us point to the cause. The cause is always in the mind. The cause
Yes.
is always the teacher that we choose. Are we choosing the teachings of the ego, which is always going to go for the quick fix? Well, that
Hmm.
didn't work. That new car didn't work, but the next new car,
It's
that's going
gonna
to work.
work. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if I step aside for 2 minutes, can you entertain,
I'll be the
educate?
commercial. Okay, I got something.
All right.
I'm ready and
Hold
prepared. Just a yogi, just a yogi, just a yogi with some goals. 100,000, 100,000 memberships. 100, no, it's not 100,000. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 memberships. 1,000 memberships. Just a yogi, just a yogi. Join the membership, become a member. Just a yogi, just a yogi, just a yogi. Join the membership, just a yogi. It's just 99 cents. 99 cents. Just a yogi. Just a yogi. Yeah, that was your commercial. Handle
I heard.
business.
Hey, I'm going to answer a question real quick from Duncan. He says, if someone does a truly terrible thing to your family and you feel you can never forgive that person who shows no remorse for doing it, is the premise of forgiveness saying that the recipient of that terrible act will never experience true spiritual happiness? No. So forgiveness never deals with, again, we're going with the effects. Forgiveness always happens in the mind, and
Mm-hmm.
no one even has to know that we're practicing forgiveness. So forgiveness is recognizing that the person who did this horrible crime, this horrible experience towards someone that you cared about, someone that you loved, um, still on the level of the mind has the same spark of love, the same spark of God, the same spark of divinity that you do. So we
Mhm.
don't excuse the hurt. We don't excuse the crime. That person will still, if it was truly a crime, will still go to jail. We don't say you're forgiven, go your way. We let the effects take care of themselves. We go to the cause and we realize that that person was caught in the delusion of being an ego so deeply, there was no other way for him to express himself except through violence.
Mhm.
On the level of the mind, the level of the heart, we don't excuse anything. We simply see the Christ mind, that Christ energy, the Christ consciousness that was hidden so deeply within that person
They
and
couldn't
was
even
so
see it.
lost, right, that he couldn't even see it.
Couldn't even see it. And the fact that we can see that he couldn't see it
And here's the
should be
most
enough.
important thing. We don't even try to visualize it, that Christ mind in that other person. We
Mhm.
realize there's only one mind. There's only one mind. There's only, in the Course it would say there's only the mind of God, but we could say there's only the Buddha mind, there's only the Christ mind. So if there's only one mind, where did that occur? In our mind. There's only one mind.
Duncan
So
says, so what happens to the person who is simply unable to forgive the perpetrator?
say that again.
Duncan says, so what happens to the person who is simply unable to forgive the perpetrator?
That person suffers.
Because they
When we're
hold on
unable,
to it.
yep, when we're unable to forgive, we suffer. And that's the whole thing with forgiveness. Do you want to continue suffering? Do you want to keep replaying a crime that happened? Do you want to keep replaying the fact that a loved one was hurt over and over again in our minds? Or do you want freedom? And
At
the
the end of
only
the
way,
day, we hold ourselves in that place. It's the act's already done. Everything is already done. But we hold ourselves instead, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, grieving, to allow yourself that space. There's, I think, 7 steps of grieving. One of them is anger. A lot of times people who are grieving choose to stay in that space of anger. And that's what holding on to things and not being able to let go of it. You don't allow yourself to fully grieve the the situation that happened. Doesn't matter when it happened, who it happened to. I mean, why it's like picking sides, right? Because then you end up picking sides. Who's a bad guy and who's a good guy
right?
when there's a perpetrator and they have a label like that, the perpetrator. And then there's picking good side and bad side. Again, you're not allowing yourself to grieve fully to be able to understand everything.
And the thing to remember is when we choose the teacher of the ego will never forgive. It will only bargain or to hold a grudge, or it will find another way of dealing with what occurred. When we choose the Christ mind, remember, it has nothing to do with the other person. When we choose the Christ mind or the Holy Spirit, whatever we want to call it, your inner therapist, everything is turned over to that. The Holy Spirit is what forgives. We don't. That's an important thing to consider.
Duncan says, don't you think, though, that it can be out of the victim's control?
It can be, for sure. When you don't know that you have a choice in the matter, it's always out of our control.
Hmm.
And when the victim believes, one, that they are a victim,
Hmm.
two, that the only response they have is the one that is offered to them from the ego standpoint. And remember, we don't realize that we're not the ego.
Hmm.
We're truly convinced that we are. So we only choose ego stuff. But
And we
if,
will believe in that ego till the end.
yep, because we don't have an option.
Hmm.
But any spiritual path teaches us that we're not the ego and that we do have an option and that we can turn this over to a higher aspect, a more loving, pure mind. And that mind is reality. The ego is an illusion. So this is the importance of, like I said, that we don't have to go to someone and say, I forgive you. If we're
Mm,
called to, sure, we can, but we don't need to.
mhm.
Forgiveness takes place on the matter of the mind, on the level of the mind.
And once you start forgiving yourself, you'll find that you don't really need to forgive anyone else. There is no one else to forgive. It's you. You have to forgive yourself for putting yourself through all of that, for not allowing yourself to let go, not allowing yourself to grieve. And you just have to start letting go and start loving yourself. Yogi, this was awesome. I don't want to keep you up because I've been on here, I think, longer than my 5 minutes.
That's okay. We're actually going to shut things down a little bit, so stay as long as you want.
Okay, thank you so much. This was
Uh,
really an amazing Sunday for us. Lots of amazing things today.
I want to hear about it. 1 second. Duncan says, can forgiveness only really be given to someone that can ask for it? Nope. Forgiveness never has anything to do with the other person, Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Zero to do with the other person, everything to do with you. Because remember, at the level of the mind, there is no other person. None. There's just the mind.
It's us battling ourselves constantly.
And even greater, there's no us.
Yeah, there's just the mind.
Yep. And the mind is pure, unconditional in the love, in the holiness, and the pureness that it's made of.
That's beautiful.
So tell me about your day.
We had an amazing experience this morning that was just absolutely beautiful. So I think I mentioned that I started something new. I started going to, like an outing every Sunday where I go. It's my fourth time going, and I absolutely enjoy it. But from the first day I've been going, there's this young man that I always see. He's very like there, walks back and forth all the time, and you always notice him. And I don't know, I just felt a calling to him, but he was always protected by his mom all the way in the distance. And today they were singing a song. It was so beautiful, and my eyes wandered, and it wandered where I saw this little man just stepped out from the shadow of his mom, and he put his hands up in the air and he just did this dance move. Right? It's really cool dance move, and our eyes connected, and it was like such a beautiful moment, and I was wondering, is he seeing me? Because I'm seeing him, right? He was shining so bright to me. Anyhow, everything was finished and we're getting ready to leave, and he came across my path again, and he said to me, "Hi, my name is Caleb." And I said, "Hi, how are you?" And he says, I like you. I like you so much. I love you." And I said, "I love you." And then he says to me, "Can you pray for me?" And I said, "Yes, I will." I said, "Can you pray for me too? Because I need some prayers too." And he says, "I will." And Yogi was I can't explain it. It was another universe. It was just the two of us, and there was no one else there. And it was just such an amazing experience that took over my whole body and my mind. And it put me in just a different, I don't know. It's like I see things differently for some reason. The
Beautiful.
world, we're just a speck. You know what I mean? We're just a tiny little speck on this earth. And there's such a bigger picture happening around us. And the moment you allow yourself to just be you and to actually like you and start to forgive you, I mean it. The world around you, miracles start to happen. Magical things, like magic is real. It starts to happen right in front of your eyes, and you have no choice but to believe in it. You know what I mean?
I do.
And trust in it. And I have you to thank, Yogi, because you started us on this path. We trusted. It's always going back to that one day I came in here and said, I have haters on YouTube and I'm scared. And you said, there's no need. You don't have to be worried. This is a safe place. And I trusted in that one little thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to be scared. This is a safe place. We've got your back. And from there, I allowed myself to listen and to take things in. And to think that a year later, I'm here with my mental health. I've came leaps and bounds, and I have one person to thank that's been guiding me, which is you, Yogi. You've been such an amazing friend, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, we love you from the bottom of our hearts. I swear it.
Just being a friend.
Just that's it. And you're not even doing anything. You're just being you sincerely. You're just being 100% you. I feel it in my bones. You're just such a giving person of yourself. You're so loving, so giving, so pure. You might say differ. Maybe you're not that pure, but we feel like you're just this pure light that's shining, that lighthouse that we needed to see, that beacon of light. You're that for us, and we're just nothing but grateful and thankful.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I appreciate hearing that.
I like saying it. I learned in life that if you feel something and you have a calling to say it, make sure you say it at that moment, because tomorrow is never promised, And if I'm feeling it right now, and so I felt like this energy saying, just join the live stream, and there's something you need to say, just say it, right? Just be myself. Don't be scared. Don't be like whatever. Just go up there and be you. And I'm glad that I did it.
I appreciate that you did.
Thank you for offering us that space.
Always. 1 second. And I would be remiss if I did not mention all the help that you've brought me and your friendship.
Thank you, Yogi. Just you calling me a friend means the world to me. I couldn't ask for more. Appreciate it.
Always.
Notice how like you're my friend, but like I didn't say I'm your friend.
Well, I know. I assumed it.
Don't
We have this
assumptions are
conversation.
not good.
We have this
Assumptions are not
conversation
good.
almost every day where I say, "I'm your friend,"
You're
and
my
you're like,
friend. I'm not your friend.
yeah. You're like, you're okay.
You're all right. Like you're not all that. You're just a yogi. Just a yogi. How's the memberships coming, Yogi? Are you at your 1,000 yet?
I am not at my 1,000.
Okay, I'm gonna keep singing your jingle, and hopefully, guys, this jingle goes like this: 1,000, 1,000, just 1,000 membership. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 memberships. Get a membership. Gift a membership. It goes like that. I hope you guys learn it. We want you to reach your goal, Yogi.
I would like to. It would be a huge. I don't know what it would be. It would be very important to me. Let me put it that way.
Well, we have a very competitive spirit, and when we challenge ourselves, of course, we'd like to see it through. And Yogi has challenged himself. He just wants to get 1,000 membership before Christmas. 1,000. What a great Christmas gift if we can help the yogi reach that goal. It's just 99 cents to get a membership, guys, and we can all do it like together. Of course, one person is not going to get 1,000 memberships. Like, that's not going to be fun. But if we can all come together and we can all just get a membership if we can. Listen, even if you can't get a membership, when you come on the live stream, if you could just like it, share it, maybe tag a couple friends, bring them in. That's like doing a membership too. That's being very supportive to the community and to the yogi. Share the live stream. Like let him see that he's getting hundreds of shares. Like share, share, share. Every time he does a stream 3 times a day, try to share it. That would help a lot too.
It would. Hey, our friend Environment says thoughts on to choose one person is to love everyone else less. No, I think you can love everyone, and I think that someone might, on a certain level, I I like to think of it as they become your practice, that you're practicing unconditional love with this one specific person. Doesn't mean that you're loving anyone less. It means that this one particular person is sharing this aspect of your life with you. Um,
I like that. I
well,
like that.
you know, we don't have the uh, we don't have the capacity to have every single person um, come into our lives and spend the amount of time and gain what we can gain than when we're with just one person.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That one person learns so much about you. They know your buttons. They can push your buttons. So when we learn to practice that unconditional love for someone that knows us so well, we create what's called in the Course of Miracles a holy relationship. A special relationship is one that it's always bargaining. I will love you as long as you please me, as long as you do this, as long as you don't do this. Um, and a holy relationship is when two people are committed to seeing, again, that spark of Christ or the reality of love that exists within each other, no matter what. Doesn't mean that we don't lose a temper, doesn't mean we don't get annoyed, doesn't mean that we don't push someone else's buttons or they don't push ours. It means that we look past all that and we use it as an opportunity to choose love. Our goal is to have a holy relationship with everyone, which is why when people say, why do you seem to put up with so much uh, in a chat when other people might uh, get timed out or they should be timed out or whatever, is at least you want to try to
Yeah.
have that holy relationship with everyone. Two people
Yeah. You
coming
want to
together.
try. That was important. You would just want to try.
And at the same time, and you and I have talked about this, I have reached a point where I will time someone out,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean that they leave my heart. It means that they leave the live stream.
Yeah. That doesn't mean like it's like someone unfollowing someone on Facebook, you know? And it sometimes it just doesn't mean anything. It just means I don't want to see this on my feed all the time. But doesn't mean that I don't love you and we can't still chat on the phone and do what we used to do before Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yep. Again, as we were talking about with forgiveness, everything is done at the level of the mind. On the level of the body, it might look very different. On the level of the body, as Long John said, you might need barriers. You might need some kind of boundary
Mm-hmm.
uh, to keep the body safe.
Mm-hmm.
But on the level of the mind, you're just extending love, extending love, extending love.
Yes.
So if I time someone out in the live stream, which again, I've reached that point where I feel that I will, um, it doesn't mean I don't love them. It doesn't mean that I've cast them out. It means that I've set up those borders, boundaries
It's
in the
saying
live
let's take
stream.
a little break. You know,
Right.
let's just take a little break. Let's do a refresher. Let's breathe, you know, and well, that love is still there. Unconditional love, it's still there. But we need to take a little breather.
Yeah, nicely said. And you and I kind of figured this out together in our
Yes. We're
conversations.
doing the same exact thing, Yogi. We support you 100%, Yogi. You know that. And it's isn't it great having like bouncing with the YouTube stuff? Don't you find that the more you grow and the more your channel kind of is growing, that there's hurdles, right? We come across hurdles. I feel like I'm so lucky also, not just to have you as my friend, learning this path of forgiveness, and I'm also learning a lot about YouTube, this world of YouTube, right? It's a world by itself, and you have to know how to maneuver the streets of YouTube. And sometimes you have to make changes that everyone might not support, right? As a community, we should always work together. We're here in the host's home. We're here at Yogi's home. These are Yogi's rules for his home. Everybody's home has different rules. everybody's homes has different traditions and different things that they do. And it's really nice as humans to come into someone's home and be respectful. It's not asking a lot, to be respectful. And I feel like I'm lucky that I have a friend that I can bounce ideas about YouTube with and kind of have a little bit of an
Hey,
alliance.
wait a minute. You just called me a friend.
Well, I mean, like I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything
Do
because
you wanna
you
walk
want to be
that
my
back?
friend so bad. I'm like, fine, I'm already your financial manager.
You can
Like,
walk that back if you want. I'll go ahead and let you.
you're okay with me taking it back. It's like she thinks I want to be her friend, but I don't really. I'm just a yogi, I'm just a yogi. You are my friend, Yogi. I have a lot of respect for you. I think you're an amazing content creator. I think you're an amazing person. I think you're an amazing YouTuber, live streamer. I think you have a great connection with people. I think that you have a great message. And with your co streamers that you're bringing up your guests, like I'm just in awe. I'm just like, wow. I'm able to relate, with a lot of your guests that you have brought up. They have done nothing but inspired me. Like I was supposed to hear them. They come in here and they speak my language, how I'm understanding it. And Vicky, that was one of the guests that you had up here, Vicky. Oh my gosh. I just felt like this connection. And then the other night she had long blonde hair with the bangs. She was gorgeous. And her message with the dogs and the cats
Oh,
and
right. Karen Palmer.
Karen Palmer. Sorry, I'm not really good with names and my memory is not really good, but she was very inspirational because, I have support dogs, right?
Right.
And I have this, like, my dog awakened when I lost my puppy, it awakened something in me, and she just made me feel so normal. I was like, am I crazy? Like, my dogs talk to me and stuff. I understand them when they speak to me. And I thought I was crazy or something, but she made me realize that I'm not crazy. Her story was so beautiful. And I was like, such inspiration. These connections that you have, Yogi, and that you're sharing with us for nothing. I just think you're inspirational. You just inspire me on a daily basis. And I'm just nothing but thankful for that. I'm like, how did I luck out like this, man? How did I get such a great friend? And plus, like, he's helping me there to inspire me with my YouTube journey.
Um,
Awesome.
and it's gonna keep up.
Yeah, we're a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, our group's going to get bigger. I know it will, right? But it's kind of nice how it is where you there's lots of people out there in the world and I know our group's going to get bigger with support, not only with YouTube, but keeping ourself intact because this like it affects your mental
Right.
when you're building a community and then your community can't work together takes a toll on the host you know because at the end of the day this is your community. You want them all to love each other, you want them all to get along together, and when it's not happening that way, I mean, you're the problem solver, you're the host, you have to fix it, and it does take a toll on your mentality. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard, but you're doing a great job. You're doing a
Well,
great
thank
job.
you.
And we support you with your changes, Yogi. We support you 100%.
I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride with me.
Yeah, we're excited. We can't wait to see where you're gonna go with this YouTube channel. You're on your way to somewhere. I can't wait to get there with you.
The next step, I'm thinking jazz dancing. Gonna do some jazz dancing for everyone.
I'll do jazz hands.
Prove it.
I could do jazz hands. I'm
Prove
doing
it.
them right now, actually.
That's not proving it though.
One day I will. One day.
Stinkbug says Miss Pups says hi to you.
Aw, hi,
Keith
Stinkbug.
Keith has been saying hi. He says have a blessed day,
Hi,
Pup and Yogi. Thank you,
Keith.
Keith.
Hi, Keith Van 1981. I guess you were born in 1981. TMI. Too much information. Now we know how old you are.
Keith says he'll do jazz verbal medicine skills.
Oh, he's awesome at verbal medicine. Yogi, have you ever heard of verbal medicine?
I've heard it from Keith before.
Yeah, well, he's
Hey, Lisa.
awesome. He's awesome at verbal medicine. He just writes like these amazing things. And when you read it, it just changes the way you feel about yourself. It's amazing. Hi, Lisa.
Lady Sky thinks I need to learn how to do line dancing. As if I don't already know how to do line dancing.
Stingbug, that's why we need you in here. We don't need the views to be dropping. We need the views to be rising. It's Toy Pops. I'm probably hurting the Yogi's channel. They're like, who's that hand holding the dog with the deep manly voice? Notice how my voice is so much deeper than you, Yogi.
Yeah, that's because you got tiny hands, though.
Don't make me. I'm gonna start exercising my hands so I can come back with the big hands. Thank you for having us on here, Yogi. You're amazing.
Sure. You ready to wrap things up?
Yeah.
You and me, we're going to say goodbye. By the way, Stinkbug says, girl, I'm doing this full time now. So we got to add Stinkbug on the list of full timers that we need to help.
Oh, you're doing YouTube full time now? Awesomeness. Okay, we're there to support you, Stinkbug. We're there. If Yogi says we need to support Stinkbug, then that's what we got to do. He's the boss of us. You know what I mean?
I thought you were the boss.
If you tell us, Yogi, you have all these amazing channels that come onto your live stream. Amazing, amazing, amazing channels. We just are fingers crossed they'll be our friends one day too, you know what I mean? But for us to just get a tiny bit of it into your community, we love it. We love it. We appreciate it. And so you're the boss, Yogi. You know who needs the support. So steer us in that direction.
I want to support anyone that says they want to do this full time because both you and I know you got to put in the work. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
The work might appear different with everyone. You know, like I don't do. I'm not as clever as you in my content creation. I mentioned this before. I think I put you up there with some of the true YouTube geniuses. I think you, Cat and Jack, the shorts, the videos that you put up, and you're both expert live streamers. You create a loving atmosphere. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I think I have my own thing that I can offer.
You got your own thing going on, Yogi. You have such a connection. I mean, you do the shorts, I think, once a day, where you just tell us that you love us. It's so beautiful. The message that you send out with your shorts, you got your own thing going on, and you're very creative, and you have a way of connecting with people. The way with just your voice, it's so beautiful. I have to use other people's audios. You're your own audio. You're just amazing at what you do, Yogi. You're very unique and we love it. There's not very many people like you in the world, you know? But that's what we were starting to believe. But with all your co hosts that's been coming up, I feel so empowered. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this journey just, it's not alone. There's so many people that are out there in these little corners of the world that are shining that beacon of light, and we're all kind of finding our ways together.
And as you and I talked about the other day, you know, imagine Karen Palmer coming up here and being so happy and so full of love and so kind, and then finding out that she was homeless.
Yeah. How? You know what I mean? She had such hardship in her life, but here she is. And the entire live stream, she had this beautiful smile on her face. And all I could feel that energy was love and joy and reaching out, like just putting it out there. I think she did the Care Bear stare or something.
Yes.
And it was like we felt it in our bones. It was like, girl, stop staring at me. I know you're doing it. You know, it was beautiful. But to think that she had such a hard life and she had nothing but that to give out, it made me feel empowered. Like I
Me
felt
too.
like I can do this. My battle is not that hard, you know? I can do it.
Um, and that's the whole reason they come up
Yeah.
is to do that. I want to answer a question from Cat One. What does mod do, please? Well, here mods are just to help people connect to each other. No one's expected to time people out or to delete comments. It happens occasionally, but no one is expected to do that. We do have a couple of top mods that help with that. They help the conversation flow, especially when I'm absent from the conversation.
It's
I
a privilege, Yogi, that you offer everyone. It's a privilege to be a moderator on the Yogi's live stream. There's so many amazing channels, content creators that come on here that the yogi does it's hard for you to connect with people if you're not a moderator. So this is a privilege that the yogi is giving. Do not take advantage of that privilege, because it's a privilege to be able to be a moderator for the only reason, because think about it, this is just a yogi's live stream, just a yogi's message: peace, love, kindness, forgiveness, all those good things. Timing someone out doesn't coincide with that message. And so, why would anyone think that's okay to do? Top mods have permission from the yogi to not allow anyone to disrupt the chat when there's a special guest on here, especially. And so, they have permission to do that. But that doesn't mean they want to do that. The person who is coming in asking to be timed out, being disruptive, they have to understand that the yogi has nothing but love to share. So when he gives you the moderator, it's only to connect with each other, to share
Yep.
love with each other, to just love each other. Nothing else besides that. I've never thought that you give moderator, Yogi, so that we can find something wrong with somebody and then time them out just because we felt like it, right? That's not nice.
Thank you for that. All right. So you ready to say goodbye with me?
Yogi, it takes so long to say goodbye. I wanted to say goodbye from an hour ago. I didn't even want to come on here. You forced me to. No, I'm just joking. He never does. He's like, get off. I don't want you. Why are you still here?
To be honest with you, I kept pressing the wrong button.
You're
I
so
thought I
mean
was
to
pressing.
me. Stop.
Thought I was pressing the deny button. I kept going deny, deny, deny. I'm like, crap,
I was
that
like,
was the wrong
no, he's
button.
not going to deny me. I'm getting on here. Everybody else gets on here. How come I don't get a turn? Yogi's so mean to me, guys. It's Danny's fault. Danny probably is going around telling everyone to let's go for Toy Pops. Let's get her. So mean. I love it.
I know you do.
Okay,
All right.
Yogi.
So
Namaste.
come around tomorrow, guys.
We will
Hang out.
namaste. Good night.
Namaste to you, my friend. Good night, guys. I will see you all tomorrow, 5 o'clock if you're around, 1 o'clock if you're not. Miss Flipper is up. No guests in the evening. So we'll have fun. Thank you, Eric. Good point. I appreciate that. Love you guys.